everybody. How are we feeling today? Who's ready to go deep? Anybody ready to go deep? Yeah? Nice. I was speaking with someone just before we started and I said, why are you here today? She said, I really want to go deep. I said, great. You're in the right place. I have a question for you. Do we really exist? Who believes we exist? Raise your hand nice and high. Who thinks we don't really exist? Nice and high. Amazing. Who's in the middle? Who's a bit of both? Okay. Some people put their hand up twice. I like that. That's good. That means you're open. Is this really real? Or is this some kind of simulation? That's what we're going to talk about today. That's what we're going to cover today. I'm going to share with you my real life experience. What's happened to me. Going from being completely left-brained, physics, science, non-believer in anything supernatural or spiritual, to now being what I call a spiritual mentor, traveling around the world, helping people to understand that there's more to life than we've been told by our family, by our friends, by our schools, by our government. Did any of you have some kind of big awakening experience where you realized that most of what you've been told your life was a complete load of shit? Has anyone had that? Yeah, look around. Everybody, right? But here's the thing. Our parents, our teachers, our schools, they can only teach us what they know. And I really believe most people, they do the best they can with what they know. Right? And they just make the best choices they can. And when they're working from a limited perspective, when you're down on the ground and you're looking up and you're surrounded by all these high-rise buildings, it's hard to really see a clear path. But when you're on top of the high-rise building and you can see everything, it all seems so simple, right? You can understand how everything works. So today my intention is just for us to very practically raise our level of awareness, bring you to the top of the skyscraper, or maybe even in a helicopter if you're really good, so you can see everything, so you can get the full picture, and then you can make your choices about what you want to do. Does that sound good? Yeah. Beautiful. I just want to check so I can know what level of depth to go to. I'm just going to say some words, and I want you to just tell me how you feel about it. Okay? You can just shout out to me. All right, how you feel about it. Is everyone okay with this? Yeah? Beautiful. Parallel universes. How do you feel about that?
Love it. Yeah.
Love it. Not sure. Awesome. Okay, great. Extraterrestrials. Definitely. Okay, cool. Spirit guides. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we have a mixture of, yes, I love it, let's do this. I've got mine with me right now. And some people are like, I don't know, I'm not too sure. Okay, great. So we have a whole mixture. That's amazing. I'm a massive geek. Any geeks in the room? Any geeks? Fellow geeks? I love it. I love it. If you want to come geek out with me about physics and quantum mechanics and going deep, I don't know as much as these guys, who've written like 50 million books between them, which is amazing. I'm just starting. I've just finished my first book. Yay! So in another 5-10 years, I'll have a whole table full of books like that. I love this physics, quantum mechanics, going deep. This is my wheelhouse. I'm a massive geek, so if you want to talk about that, great. So everything I'm going to talk about is from that kind of perspective. But I've experienced some things that scientists so far haven't been able to explain to me, at least the ones I was taught about in school. Has anyone ever experienced some really weird stuff before? Yeah, tell me what's some of the weirdest stuff that you've experienced. Who's feeling brave? Come on, let's create an open space. You be weird with me, I'll be weird with you. The number 33. Everywhere. Who's into numbers, synchronicities, angel numbers, that kind of thing? Yeah, beautiful. What did you say?
Extraterrestrials.
Extraterrestrials, what, can you elaborate?
I've seen them when I was doing so much.
Amazing. Seeing extraterrestrials, now we're getting a bit juicy, right? Now we're getting a bit juicy. Anybody seen any extraterrestrials or works with any extraterrestrials? Great. This is being recorded, so this is going to go out. This is going to go out on YouTube to millions of people, right? The whole world's going to know that you are weird. So if you're weird and proud, say yes. Yes. Turn to the person next to you, give them a high five and say, I am weird.
I'm weird.
So much fun. Beautiful. So, joking aside, are we really real? It's a deep question, right? The way I'm going to come at this is to explain my point of view. Everything is not backed up by science, peer-reviewed science journals yet, but science is catching up. And if you believe in the most up-to-date recent scientific discoveries, a lot of this is already proven. These theories have been kept hidden for whatever reason. You might believe the government or the powers that be might want to keep us small. Don't know if anyone's into conspiracy theories. Yeah, I thought you might be. So for some reason, some people might want to keep us small. They might not want us to have access to this unlimited energy, this potential, all these incredible things that become available once you step out of that socially accepted box that most people live and die in. But the veil is so thin now. I believe we're so close to disclosure where all this stuff's just coming out because they can't keep it a secret anymore. Because when I was a kid, we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have the internet. And if you wanted to find something out, you had to go to a library. And you had to look through a massive encyclopedia, right, to find anything. And so it was easier to keep things hidden. But now with your smartphone, you just search for anything, right? Any of you today can make a video and share what you learn that could then be seen by thousands, millions of people all around the world. And 5G is now being launched. Does everybody know about 5G? Okay, not here to argue the pros and cons, the health benefits or not of 5G, but 5G is going to cover the entire world with internet. And the CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt, says that at the moment, 4 billion people on the planet have access to the internet. 4 billion. That's 3 billion who don't. But by 2020, all 7 billion people on the planet will have access to the internet. That means they're all going to have access to this information. They're all going to be able to watch this exact video and all the videos from the other amazing speakers today. So, speakers, let's make some incredible videos today. Let's give these 3 billion new people that are coming online something really interesting to search for. Can you imagine some kid in some village in Africa, the first video they see is of this conference? How cool would that be? they go on YouTube and they type in, do we really exist? And this pops up. What a start to their journey that would be. I would love just to take a moment, just to please give a massive round of applause to Rachel, David, the other speakers, and all of you for turning up today. Can you give yourselves a massive round of applause, please? Really amazing. I came from London today. I know some people in the audience came from London. Did anyone come further than that? Anybody come further than that? Yes, amazing. This is how committed we are to getting this stuff out to you. I believe the world is ready for it now. I believe you can stand up now and speak your truth, and someone somewhere will resonate with you. We don't have to play small anymore. We don't have to hide anymore. We can really share how we genuinely feel. And no matter how weird or wonderful or wacky it is, someone will go, wow, I had that similar experience too. But it takes for you to be brave. It takes for you to have courage. It takes for you to stand up and say, this is my truth. So today I'm going to share with you my truth. And I've never shared this before publicly. I've never shared this before on camera. And I'm super excited for whatever the universe wants to express through me. So all I ask from you, please keep open minds. Please keep open hearts. And the more amazing energy you send me, the more amazing energy I'm going to send back to you. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do we really exist? I'd love to play a little game. Everybody, please stand up. Everybody stand up. People who believe that we really exist, please come on this side of the room. Please come here. People who really believe that we exist, please come here. Hey, no. No. We don't judge people based on their beliefs, because how boring would it be if everyone believed the same thing? Wouldn't that be a boring world? Okay, people who don't believe we exist, please come over here. Please come over here. People who don't believe that we exist. Don't believe we exist. This is just a game. This is just a simulation. This is not real. And people who are in the middle, please come in the middle. People who are in the middle, please come in the middle. Yeah. Maybe not sure, maybe a bit of both. You can be in the middle.
Oh, right, okay, good.
Wow. What's your name, please? Maddie. Can everybody please give Maddie the biggest round of applause for owning her truth? Maddie, you are amazing. Everybody else is in a different place than Maddie, and she is owning her truth. That is really cool. Oh, you need to come. Don't be shy. And what's your name? Morpheus. Maddie and Morpheus owning their truth. Now, is their truth better or worse, more or less valid than anybody else's truth? Oh, does the truth really exist? When we put our hand up, when we say, this is who I am, this is what I believe in, we're going to polarize people. Some people will say, yes, I'm on your team. Let's do this. I love it. Everything you're saying, it really resonates with me. And some people are going to go, you're crazy. Right? I'm not having anything to do with you. Don't talk to that guy. He's weird. And some people will be sitting on the fence, kind of waiting for you. something that happens as you step out and you start speaking your truth is you naturally get these haters, you get these people that don't resonate with you, and because of their current level of consciousness, they might choose to attack you in some way, verbally, physically, however, right? We've all heard of it. I really believe we are in a time now where we can speak our truth, attract our tribe of people that love us, and we can talk about anything. Who believes that? Beautiful. I want you to please give 3 people a big hug and tell them they are amazing, and then take your seats.
You're amazing.
You're amazing too. Hello, nice to see you again.
Ah, you too.
It's been a while. Okay, take a seat, you massive hippies, come on. We've got stuff to do. These hugs, they're not free. Come on. Okay, how does everyone feel now? Good, we all warmed up, we're ready to get stuck into it. Great. The thing is, in the morning, especially when you're the first session, if you just go straight into it, people aren't so usually open, so receptive. And so it's good to do something just to kind of connect everyone and make it feel nice, right? Now, everyone's smiling. Everyone? Anybody not smiling? Okay. So, I'm going to talk today about simulation theory. Anybody familiar with simulation theory? Okay, great. Amazing. Simulation theory is a discovery that's been going on for a while, an inquiry, as to whether this life we are living right now is a simulation. Is this a really real computer game? Are we simply a game that someone on a higher level of consciousness, a higher vibrational being, is playing? And if we are, or if we're not, what are the implications of it? How can we use this to our advantage to create a more amazing life experience for ourselves? Who loves computer games? Anybody? Used to? Used to, yeah. Me too. Yeah. I loved it. Ever since I was a kid, I loved it. I remember being 5 years old. My mum bought me a Sega Mega Drive. Sega Mega Drive with Sonic the Hedgehog. Anyone who used to play Sonic? I lived on that thing. You could not get me off it. I would eat for lunchtime. My mum said, "You have to eat." I eat as quick as I can, straight back on it, to get back into this world, this 2D world at the time, where I could be this other thing, where I could imagine what it's like to be a hedgehog that has superpowers and can save the world. Something about this idea really spoke to me deeply inside. This idea that we can be this hero and we can level up and we can grow and we can expand and we're here to learn and we're here to develop our skills, and the more practice we put in, the more effort we put in, the better we become and the easier it gets. And I remember in Sonic, I was 5, right? So I struggled with a lot of the levels. After practicing for a few months, after really playing it every single day, it became easy. Level 1 was easy, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the levels became easier and easier the more I practiced. The things that I used to find challenging weren't challenging anymore. And then guess what? Say, Luke, what? Tell me what? Once you complete that level, there's a next level. And guess what? It's more challenging. And every time you complete a level, there's a next level. And there's a next level. And then a big boss comes. A big boss. Dr. Robotnik it was in Sonic. And he makes you really put everything that you know to the test. Really challenges the core of who you are. And sometimes I would have to do that boss 100 times. Failing and learning, failing and learning, failing and learning, failing and learning, getting really frustrated, really 5 years old, screaming at the TV. I give up, I can't do it anymore, it's impossible, this is impossible. Anyone ever felt like that? This is impossible. I remember there was one level. I tried it so many times, and I'm crying my eyes out. Because I want to get to the next level. I so want it. I'm addicted to leveling up. Anyone addicted to leveling up? Yeah? I'm addicted to it, but I can't do it. So my mum sits down with me. For hours and hours and hours. And she helps me. And together we beat the level. And that's one of the best memories I have of me and my mum. She had no idea what she was doing. But she learned how to do that level with her expanded awareness. Because she was older, more experienced, she understood the concept a bit more. 5 years old, when we're very young, when we're very keen, we just kind of go gung-ho, right? We don't take time to really strategize and think about things, whereas her brain could think about things in a bit of a different way to mine. And I think about this for my spiritual awakening, where when we first get started, it's so exciting, right? And we just go fully in and we just jump in, and we don't have a strategy, we don't have a plan, we don't have any techniques, and we're on this roller coaster ride, white knuckle roller coaster ride for a lot of people. Ah! Do you want to get off? No! One more time! But as we play the game a bit more, we start to understand how it works. We can think a few steps ahead. I used to play chess with my nan a lot. And when I first started, it was just one move ahead. But then as I got better at the game, as I understood the rules of the game, I could think a few moves ahead. And then I got to a point where I'm a 10-year-old kid and I can beat my nan every single time. Now she's frustrated. This 10-year-old kid's beating me every time. It's because I was really in it. So if this life is a simulation, if this life is like a game, maybe there's rules too. Maybe there's strategies, maybe there's things that we can do and we can put in place to make it easier to go through the levels. Who's been on their spiritual journey for more than a year? Great. More than 5 years. More than 10 years. Okay, look around. These are the people you want to go talk to. These people have been playing the game for a long time. I went to my first personal development event, big event, hundreds of people, around 13 years ago. And since then, I just have loved going into it. Everybody take a deep breath in for me. And out. I'm going to do something very practical with you. I'm going to take you through an exercise that I take my mentees through. Now, this is something that people usually pay me thousands of pounds to do, but I really feel to share it with you. 'Cause I was talking with Rachel and David about what we can do, and instead of just talking all the time, I thought, let's give you a process. Would anybody like to do it? Okay, I thought you might. Thought you might. So I'm going to take you through this process. So this process changes everything for me and for my clients, because understanding something intellectually is one thing. Rachel, you can understand that aliens exist intellectually, but when you physically experience them, when you see them, when you feel them, when you connect with them, when you can talk to them, when you can channel these higher dimensional beings, it completely changes the game, right? This real experience, for me, is what woke me up, is what changed everything. So I just want to explain to you how this works. How does a game work? Any programmers, developers? How does a normal computer game work? What's a computer game made of? Code. Yes, please give this gentleman a big round of applause. Amazing. Computer games are made from code. Has anyone seen the movie The Matrix? You know, they have the green screens with all the right? Similar. So it's made of this code. These numbers, these letters, these symbols. And when you read the code, it creates things. It's a language in itself. What are we made from? DNA. Energy. Code. Please give him a big round of applause. Morpheus, of course you know. Of course Morpheus knows. Our DNA is code, right? Our DNA is code. They've actually mapped out, not very much of human DNA has been mapped out. A lot of it, scientists still say, is junk DNA. There was an article published in a very prestigious scientific journal in 2017 that said 75% of our DNA is junk. Who believes that 75% of our DNA is junk? Amazing, right? Of course it's not. But they just don't understand what it does yet. So they call it junk. But with a fruit fly, they've mapped out pretty much the entire genetic code of fruit flies now. And they know if they take this part and they manipulate it, they can have flies that are born with no eyes. And they do this experiment. They can literally do that with these fruit flies because their DNA structure is a bit simpler. So just like a computer code, they take this snippet, they remove it, or they add to it, or they manipulate it in some way. The flies are now born with no eyes. You can do this now with human babies. Not saying it's right or wrong or good or bad, but you can go and you can get specific adjustments made to the DNA to check that your baby will have certain characteristics. All heard of this? Yeah. So the more we understand about this code, and that this code can be rewritten, can be manipulated, can be changed, for me this is just like, well, isn't this what we do in a computer game? In a computer game, who plays the game? Player, right? In this life, who's playing you right now? Your higher self? Maybe, yeah. Consciousness? Your demon? Your subconscious? Your past programs? There's something, right? There's something more than this human body. There's something that we can tap into that I'm sure most of you have experienced, and if you haven't, you're going to experience it very soon. There's something bigger than this. Who agrees with that? There's some kind of player. If that player doesn't exist, what happens to your body? When that player's gone, what happens to your body?
Dead.
Doesn't work without a player, right? Who thinks this is a bit freaky? Is everybody okay? Raise your hand if you're okay. Okay, good. I also have a company called the Academy of Conscious Sexuality, and we teach people how to have amazing conscious sex, because most people have sex unconsciously. Does everyone know what I mean by that? Most people think it's just two bodies coming together. They don't think about these higher players. They don't involve the energetic side of it. It's just two bodies coming together to create some friction, shoot out some fluids, and that's it. And then you roll over and go to sleep. Maybe you give them a hug if you're really nice. But most people don't do that, from my experience. And so in the Academy of Conscious Sexuality, when we run our events, we have this system, this light system. We do red, amber, green. So red means I'm too triggered, I'm out, I can't cope anymore. Amber is like, it's all good, keep going. It's a bit edgy. And green is like, more, go deeper. So who's red? Is anybody red? Is anybody amber? Who wants to go way deeper? Okay, nice. Amazing. So, when we have sex, does anybody want to know how to have more amazing sex, by the way? Anybody curious? Nobody's curious about how to have more amazing... Some people are like this. Just one finger. But not enough so the camera can see it. What would people think? What would people think of me if they knew that I enjoyed sex? I'll stand on stage and I'll tell people that we're not real, but I'm not going to say that I like sex. No way. Not on camera. This was a big shock for my friends, family, colleagues, when I came out saying that I loved sex and making videos about sex. It was a big deal because I worked in corporate. I was a sales coach, sales trainer, and sales manager for a big corporate company, like $2 billion company. And so all they'd heard me talk about was reports, accounting, forecasts, budgeting, right? And next day I'm making videos with 3 of my business partners talking about orgasms, how to have amazing orgasms. I call them soul orgasms. And it was a big shock. And a lot of people were scared to press like. They usually like my videos, but they were scared now. Because what if their parents see that they liked a video about sex? Or their friends or their boss? Who'd like to know how to have a soul orgasm? Anybody? Yeah. Beautiful. It's so much fun being a speaker, by the way. Is anyone here a speaker? Isn't it so much fun just making people uncomfortable? It's my favorite thing in the whole world. I love making people feel uncomfortable. You can see I'm smiling. I can't control it. It's just happening because I feel something happening here. In this room of people who are already open. Right? You all put your hand up. You're all open already. And yet there's still this taboo energy around this for some reason. How special is that? Soul orgasms is when it's not 2 bodies coming together anymore. That's just one part of it. Soul orgasms are where you bring together your physical bodies, your mental bodies, your emotional bodies, and your spiritual bodies. So a soul orgasm is where you are aligned and connected in all of these levels. So before you make love, you need to connect with the person mentally. You need to connect with them emotionally. And you need to get aligned spiritually too. And then when you actually come together, you don't even need penetration, by the way. You can do this with clothes on. Anybody like to try? I'm joking. That's a different workshop. When you come together, your two energies come together, it's not two energies anymore. They merge. They become one. And you forget where you start and where they end. And it's this beautiful euphoric feeling of bliss that just feels like your whole body is an orgasm. And you have chills everywhere. And usually I'm just crying my eyes out because my body doesn't know how to handle this amount of love. So next time you have sex, before you just rush and try and get it over and done with the lights off, take some time, connect with your partner first. Use your eyes, use your breath. Speak out your fears, speak out your desires. Meditate together. Touch each other. And then when you come together, you'll see the game is so much better. There's an amazing film that was out in the 80s where it's called Demolition Man. Has anybody seen it? Demolition Man. Basically, Arnold Schwarzenegger's the president. They don't have physical sex anymore. Instead now they just put on these VR headsets. And they have the most intense, incredible connected sex without actually having to physically touch. Has everyone seen it? VR now, virtual reality headsets are so real. Elon Musk says that in the next few years it's going to be indistinguishable from reality. Indistinguishable. You will not be able to tell the difference between when you have your headset on and when you're in real waking life. Whatever that means. Some people believe that right now we are our higher selves, a higher part of our consciousness, a higher vibrational part, is somewhere else with some kind of virtual headset on, and it just beams our consciousness down into this body to play this game. Some people believe, some ancient civilizations especially, that this is a waking dream, that this is a dream reality. And when you die, you wake up and you go, whew, wow, that was intense. Has anyone ever done lucid dreaming or astral traveling, that kind of thing? Amazing. So you can get into these dream states where it's so real you can't tell the difference between waking life and your dream life, except that in lucid dreams you can fly and stuff if you choose to, right? And whatever you call in instantly manifests. Instant. And some people believe that when we leave this physical body, that's what happens. We go back to this dimension where we can manifest anything. And that when we go to sleep, what actually happens is our consciousness goes to these other dimensions while our body rests. Has anybody seen the movie Avatar? Avatar? What happens in the movie Avatar? They have these biological suits, and you download your consciousness into them, and then you're real. You can have relationships, you can have sex, you can make babies, you can do everything inside this biological suit. How much of a stretch is it to believe that maybe that's what's happening right now? That this is some kind of biological suit. We all know our body's an amazing machine, right? The most advanced machine in the world. That this is some kind of biological suit. And our soul is really our consciousness being beamed in from somewhere else into this suit so we can have this experience, tasting, touching, smelling, hearing, seeing. Having sex. Because when you have no physical body, sex is very different. You can do something called astral sex. Anyone done that? Oh, very cool. Morpheus, of course Morpheus has done it. We need to talk more, I think. Astral sex is where you project your consciousness to your partner and you have sex with them without being physically there. Everybody can do this, you can learn it. You can make your partner have full body orgasms, they can feel you interacting with them, they can feel your presence in the room, you can penetrate them energetically, and you can bring them to climax without actually being there. But isn't it more fun with a physical body? That's why we chose to come here, right? Because we wanted to feel. But sometimes these feelings that we have, they're very intense, and sometimes we think, did I make the right choice? Anybody ever think, maybe I should just go back now? Anyone ever thought that before? Come on, be honest. How many times a day do you think that? How are we doing for time?
20 minutes.
Perfect. So the question I really am posing here when I jokingly say, do we really exist, is this where we are now, is this base reality? These are the options, right? Is this the actual base reality? Does it even matter if this is the base reality or not? If this isn't base reality, if some more advanced race has already played this game before and they found a way to create some kind of biological suit that you can stream our consciousness into so we can have a physical experience, what are the implications of that? How would you live your life differently if you knew that this was a game and when you transition, when you die, when you leave this body, you just wake up and you go, whoo!
Life seems easier.
I want to go again. And maybe I didn't beat the level this time. Maybe Dr. Robotnik got me. And maybe I need to ask my mum for some help. But I'm going to come back next time and I'm going to get it. I'm going to learn about this thing called love. And I'm going to learn how to open my heart. And I'm going to learn how to speak my truth. Because if you don't get it in this lifetime, you just come back and do it again. And again, and again. Hopefully you don't have to do it 100 times like I did with that Sonic level. But if you do, what difference does it make? When I passed that level, how do you think I felt? I think I orgasmed. I think that was an orgasm. Like that feeling of working so hard for something and then it actually happens is the magic, right? That's why we're here. And in this other dimension where as soon as you think about something, it just appears. It's not the same, is it, as going on that journey and just struggling and leveling up and figuring it out and going through the trials and the tribulations and the struggles and then really putting in all that effort and then getting the reward. Because if you could have everything that you ever wanted right now, how quick would you get bored of that?
Weekend.
I saw a dream, a really vivid lucid dream, where in this dream, it was a wild dream. I was being chased by these bikers, these Hells Angels motorcycle gang was chasing me. And we went on this whole mission to like take down the government. And basically at the end, I had to press this big button to take down the government. And if you press the button, it's all gone, game over. And on the way to this, I go to this bar to hide, and I meet this bartender. And I realize as I'm sat there that this bartender is God. And I say something to him, and I don't know exactly what I said. But it shifted the game. It was like in a lot of games you get cheat codes. Right? Has anyone ever played a game where you have cheat codes? Anyone played like Grand Theft Auto or something? Yeah. So in Grand Theft Auto you can do a cheat. Usually you're driving around in a car or a van or a bike, but you can do a cheat where you just get a tank or an Apache helicopter. And it just makes it more fun, right? So this cheat happens. And then I realize that I am God. And in the dream, it's not a theoretical understanding, it's a knowing. It's a difference between hoping, believing, and knowing. I talk about this in my book. Knowing is the level that masters operate at. Knowing. People talk about like the Jesus story turning water into wine. You have to know that that water is going to turn into wine. You have to know it. So in the dream, I know that I am God, and that means I can create anything. And so, like that, all the bikers are gone. All the gangs are gone. No one's chasing me anymore. I'm completely at peace. I realized I'd created all that drama, all that tension because I wanted the excitement, and I could stop it anytime I wanted to. And then I realized, hey, now that I'm God, I can create anything. And so I did. I was a playboy for a while. I was doing everything you could possibly imagine a 31-year-old guy would do if he could click his fingers and manifest anything in the world. What would you do if you could click your fingers and manifest anything right now? Anybody want to own up to it? And then I realized that time didn't exist for me because I was God. And there was just one moment, there was just this moment. And the more I created, the more I realized, oh shit, there's an infinite number of moments. And I created whole universes, I watched whole planets evolve, everything happened in a moment, and then there was still an infinite number of moments. And I got bored. What do you do for eternity when you can have everything in an instant? It's an interesting thing to think about, right? When we're in a higher dimension, for these other beings that maybe have already played this ascension game before, if they can manifest everything that they want in a moment, what do you do for eternity? Exactly. So I saw that we create this game where we forget who we really are, because that's the only way to stop myself from going insane. So we create this game where we can forget. We can forget everything. And we can relive things as if it was the first time. We can forget that we're God, we can forget that we're infinite, we can forget that we can manifest anything that we want in an instant. We forget it all. So we can come and we can experience the game again. But eventually you get to the same point like I did in that bar in the dream, where again you realize that you're God, you're fully empowered, and you can manifest everything again. You go through the same cycle, and then it carries on forever. And you start again and again and again. And that dream changed a lot of things for me. I'm dropping lots of things into your awareness, and some of you will resonate with them, and it will have a radical shift in your life. And some of you, maybe it's just not for you right now, and that's totally cool too. And maybe in a year or 5, you'll remember that thing in your meditation, and it will drop in then, and that's cool too. we're all here playing a different game. We're all here with a different mission. My mission is different to yours, to yours, to yours, to yours, to yours, to yours. No game is better or worse. Sonic isn't better than Grand Theft Auto. Do you want to know my favorite type of game? Who'd like to know? Say, Luke, tell me your favorite game. I love games where I'm a hero and I have a big sword and I can run around and have my team around me. I have like a magician and a healer and a ninja and like an archer, and we create this incredible team of people who all have their own unique specialties. They all have their own superpowers, and it takes every single person in the team to be able to do the missions. A big strong warrior with his massive sword, he can't win every mission by himself. He needs these people with these other superpowers. And that's what I've spent the last years of my life doing. That's us. That's us. That's what I've spent the last years of my life doing, is building this tribe, is finding these people with these superpowers. And most of my friends now are gifted. Most of my friends can do supernatural things. But if you take the word supernatural and you break it down into two words, just says supernatural. It's natural and it's super. But we make it mean something like out there, right? But it's not, it's just real. It's actually as real as you can get. So, who'd like to do a process where you can have a cool experience for yourself? Say yes?
Yes.
I'm not sure if everyone's ready for it. Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. You can chill. You can chill. Everybody, I know we've talked about a lot of things and it can make you quite heady. So our mission now is to drop into our bodies. So I'd like everybody to give me a little wiggle. You can do this. Everyone give me a little wiggle. Everyone give me a little wiggle. Imagine that the better the wiggle is, the more energy you shift, the more incredible your experience is going to be. How would you wiggle then? How would you... Turn to the person next to you. Look someone deep in the eyes. Deep in the eyes. And say to them, I like the way you wiggle. Give your partner a high five and take your seat. Thank you, yeah, take your seat. That wasn't the experience. That's just getting you ready. As a speaker, you have to be aware of people's energy because I really want you to get this experience, and the only way I can get that for you is if you are able to receive it. So for those of you who are speakers, that's something called an energy raise. Just shifts the energy. I run a public speaking academy as well, so that's why I teach people how to be speakers like this. So, everybody now, I'd like you to please, if you'd like to join in, please close your eyes. If you don't want to join in, that's totally cool too. Get comfortable in your seat. And just allow yourself to drop down into your body. Take some deep breaths deep down into your abdomen. And just give yourself a moment just to drop down. Imagine you can take your consciousness from your head down your spine. Imagine you can take it all the way down to the base of your spine. And even further down. Imagine you can take your consciousness all the way down through the floor. You might see it as cables or roots, down into the earth, through the mud, through the stones, down through this layer of crystals, and all the way down to the very center of the earth. And as you get down to the center of the earth, just feel this feeling of being completely held, being completely safe. And just feel how much support the earth has for you. When you can feel that feeling of being completely loved and supported, just allow that to fill up your whole body. Imagine when you breathe in, you can breathe in this love, breathe in this light, breathe in this support, that it fills up your entire being. You feel every cell in your body expanding, awakening, activating. You feel every strand of your DNA activating, awakening, expanding. And just let your imagination run wild. Because our brains and our bodies don't know the difference between something we imagine and something that's real. So anything that happens in this process, if you really imagine it as if it's happening right now, then on the deepest level it really does happen. So I want you to imagine now this energy filling up your heart, this love, light, support. See your heart glowing. See your heart lighting up. Now imagine bringing your consciousness up to the top of your head. And as it reaches the top of your head, it starts to rise up above your head. And as it rises up above your head, this column of pure white light comes down from the center of the universe, completely surrounding you. As you feel that pure, unconditional love space that you're held in. And as your consciousness raises up even higher, up above your head, up through this column of light, see that there's a doorway there, a white doorway. And when you're ready, you can open the door and walk through. As you walk through the door, see that you are in a pure white room, completely white as far as you can see. This is a very special room for you to create anything that you want, just like in the Matrix. In Harry Potter, they call it the room of requirements. Anything you want to create, you can create here right now. You can choose what you want to experience in this game. I want you to imagine now in the middle of the room, there's a wardrobe with a full-length mirror there. And as you walk closer to the mirror, you see your reflection in there. But it doesn't feel quite like you. It feels like a higher vibrational version of yourself. Maybe your highest self. Just see what they look like and feel what kind of energy you get from them. When you feel ready to, I invite you now to touch the glass, touch the mirror, and see you can go through it. And as you go through this mirror and stand next to your highest self, next to this player in this game, just take a nice deep breath in and out, and just be with them for a moment. And I want you to see that they have a message for you. want to share something with you. What do they want to say? And trust that first thing, whatever the first thing is, it's always the first thing. What do they want you to know right now? And I can see that they want to show you something, so take a nice deep breath in and out. And using the power of your imagination, I want you to imagine diving inside that highest version of yourself. And as you dive inside that highest version of yourself, I want you to see that you get shown a scene very clearly, just like a movie, just like a game. And you can see and hear and feel and taste and touch everything that's going on. And just trust this is exactly what you need to see right now, in alignment with what's in your highest and best. And as you're there in this scene, just let it play out just like a movie. And if this is something you would like to bring into your reality, feel what it would feel like to have this right now. Feel what it would feel like to be this right now, to embody this. And as you feel that, sense that your DNA is activating, sense that your whole being is activating, your cells are clearing themselves, you're being upgraded to the highest potential that you can hold at this time, with ease and grace. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in and out, and see that you come back so you're facing your highest self. And if you feel to, just let this version of you know, let this player know that you would like to connect with them more. And just know that anytime you want to connect, all you need to do is close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, imagine this version of you in front of you, and they will appear. And you can have a full two-way conversation with them, just like you can with me right now. Thank them for coming here, and if you feel to, you can give them a big hug. And as you give them a big hug, just feel what it feels like to embrace that energy. Feel what it feels like to be fully in your power, to be activated, to know that you can create anything that you want as soon as you allow it. And as you squeeze them in even tighter, just see that you absorb that energy, that it becomes a part of you. Take a deep breath in and out. When you're ready, step back through the mirror, back into the white room. Know that you can come to this white room anytime that you want. Just close your eyes, ground yourself, take your consciousness up through the column of light, go through the door, and in this place you can manifest things instantly, effortlessly. When you're ready, take a nice deep breath in and out. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Start to come back into your body. Maybe have a nice stretch. Open your eyes. If you got something valuable from that, I really suggest take some time to journal it down on the break. Those insights you probably got then can be really, really powerful for you. And you can tap into that anytime you want. That was just a little flavor. I usually do a 2-hour session with people. If you would like to talk about doing that and going deeper, just come see me. Come see the team. Let us know. You can pop your name down on the form at the back, and we can go deeper. I just want to leave you with this. Everybody looks so deep in thought, so deep in feeling. I just want to leave you with this. Whether this is base reality or whether this is a simulation makes absolutely no difference to you right now, unless you choose to make it mean something. All you can do is choose in this moment, in every moment, how you want to play the game. How you want this movie to go. Do you want it to be a drama where there's loads of conflict? Do you want it to be a comedy? Do you want it to be a horror movie? I like action adventure. What do you want the rest of your movie to be like? Decide to choose it now. So that when you transition, when you wake up from this dream, you can look back and think, I played that game the best I possibly could. My name is Luke Scott III. Thank you all so much. Would love for you to come connect with me on social media. I'm everywhere. I have loads more videos like this on my YouTube channel as well. And if you all want to come get my book when it's launched, that would be amazing too. Thank you.